Hello everybody, and welcome to the second episode of TechnoTalks. Today we will be discussing various topics. Basically just going to be kicking it. Just talking about different things. So I try and get my positioning correct here. Yep, I like it. A little bit over there. Yeah, okay, we're good now. Hello. Today is November 14th, 2024. This is our second installment of TechnoTalks. It started as a streaming series that I would do. It wasn't called by any name. It was just called live streaming. Glasses. It was just called live streaming, and I just decided, you know what, we got to make it a series. So now it's called TechnoTalks. So the image you're seeing before you is one of the train stations I built in Trainz. It's called, I think, 242nd Street. You have the one train, Broadway Local, R142. Then you have the R289 burn-in testing right before it enters service. And then you have an R33 mainline 4 train, or R26 4 train, whatever you want to say, going up to Woodlawn. This is on the Customia Map, so it mimics New York City, but it is not New York City. It mimics it closely. It's not New York City, though. That's my preview image because the series is still new. Hopefully, as time goes on, that the graphics will get better. I hope so. So, without further ado, let us begin. Here is a Conehead. Oh, wait, I meant to turn that off. So, yeah, hopefully, Lord willing, I could get better graphics, but this is what we have for now. That is the opening picture. R142 on the 1, R289 on the 1, and then R26 on the 4. So, let us begin to discuss our current topics. First off, we will start with the 4300 series R211As. Up to 4389 have been delivered as of last week, I think around same time last week, which was November 7th. So as of November 7th, up to R211A 4389 have been delivered. 4385 to 89 was the first R211A consists, besides 4300 to 4304, to be delivered the right way, in my opinion, through South Brooklyn Railway, where we could get photos of it before it goes to Coney Island, instead of that freak-ass 207 delivery method, where you send the train all the way up to 207 in two separate stages. On Mondays, 2 cars get delivered, and then on Tuesdays, 3 cars will get delivered, and that will make the 5-car set, 5 cars a week. I did not like that delivery method, and it ended up causing me to not like the 4300s as much as I thought I would. 4300s have been running on the C. R211As have been running on the C, of course, since September 20th, with 4300s dominating that line. Of course, we have the A to 96th Street, which is giving people a lot of good opportunities to get very exclusive photos, like R46s and R179 A trains on 2nd Avenue, R179s on 2nd Avenue in general, R211As on futuristic stations, signed up to all kinds of stuff. You wouldn't believe it. Signed up to F, Q, W, R. It's like, and of course A, but it's very unique to see these codes that they have set in place, because of the fact that the A to 96th Street program doesn't always work. They just sign the R211A up to something else, or because of the fact that it could confuse commuters, like what is an A train doing on 96th Street? So they just give them what they're used to, R211A Q train to 96th Street. That way people don't get confused. Personally, I haven't caught it yet. I know it's quite an exciting thing. It's quite an exciting geo, and I know a lot of fans have definitely enjoyed seeing it. Here's R211A 4349 on the C. I believe I caught that sometime in early October or mid-October. As you can see, it was already beginning to get dirty. For some reason, Pitkin has a horrible maintenance problem. They can't maintain shit. I gotta watch how many epithets I use. I still want to have this monetized, so I'm not going to use too many. So up to R211A 4374 is in service. Two of the 4300 series entered service on the same day, which was quite interesting. And I will currently be fetching that information for you. Uh, 4360 to 64 and 4359 to 55, as well as so it was 4345 to 4354, which entered service on the C on October 23rd, and then 4359 to 4364, which entered service on the A on October 23rd. So both on the same day. That was quite exciting to see two 4300s enter service on the same day. Personally, you know me, I don't really I have a love-hate relationship with the 211s. So I'm going to put my bias to the side and speak for the community when I say that it's cool to see two 4300 series R211As enter service on the same. Nope, disregard that. Okay. 4345 to 4354 enter service on October 21st on the C. And then 4355 to 4364 enter service on October 23rd on the A. So not the same day, but very, very close to each other. Those two sets entering service happened within the span of like a 2-day window. Then, of course, the latest R211A to enter service was 4365 to 4374, which entered service on November 6th on the A. But seeing a 211A, 4345 to 54, the one you're looking at right now, enter service on the C is absolutely fascinating, because before that, R211As were not entering service on the C. They were always entering service on the A and then shifting to the C later on after September 20th when the C began using R211As. But to see an R211A actually begin its life on the C is definitely a sign of how far we've come. Usually with the delivery process, as formerly mentioned, until June 27th, they were delivering R211As. They used to deliver them 2 at a time or 3 at a time to South Brooklyn, and now they deliver them 5 at a time to South Brooklyn. They were delivering them to South Brooklyn from July 2021 until June 27, 2024. The last one to be delivered to South Brooklyn was 4300 to 4304. And then they began delivering them to 207th Street Yard. Everything from 4305 to 4384 was delivered via 207. Oh, we're not up there yet. Was delivered to 207th Street Yard. And the way they would deliver to 207th Street Yard, they would have, on Mondays, they would deliver 2 cars to the George Washington Bridge area and then to 207. And then on Tuesday, they would deliver the remaining 3 cars. They would assemble them at 207, and that would create a 5-car set. They would speed test it around West End or like the Sea Beach line or whatever line is available. They would do speed testing, burn and test it on the A or maybe even the C, and then they would enter service whenever they were ready. So that's how most of the 4300s got here. You already know about 4309. Apparently it got into some kind of accident, and they had to send the original back in favor of a new one, which is why the original 4300s, when they entered service, it was a little bit wonky. You had 4300 to 04 enter service with 4310 to 14 instead of 4305 to 09, because they had to build a replacement 4309, and the original 4305 to 09 was not ready yet. So they had to swap out 4309, put it into another set. I believe they put it into 4479, and then the 4309 that's in service now is a completely new car. The old 4309, which got repaired by Kawasaki, will be, I think, 4479. And let me just check that on my Discord because they have that information. So the way the 43s entered service was 4300 to 4304 with 4310 to 14. 4315 to 4324. They skipped 4305 because it wasn't ready yet. Then the third one to enter service was 4305 and 4325. Now you have 4330 to 34, and then 4340 to 44, then enter service. Then 4345 to 54, which you're looking at right now, enter service on October 21st on the C. Then 4355 to 4364, which enters service on October 21st or October 23rd on the A. And then the currently newest consists that's in service 4365 to 4374, which enters service on the A on November 6th. One of the 4300s, 4355 to 4364, if it wasn't broken up, it might have been broken up. Let me see. I think it was broken up. Yeah, they broke it up. Okay. So 4360 to 64 ran on the Q up to 96th Street, 2nd Avenue. As formerly mentioned, they're doing the A to 96, so some of the 211s, to avoid confusion, they're changing them from A to Q. So we did have an R211Q train with one of the newest 4300s in it, 4364. As much as I have bias towards these cars, I think that was pretty cool. Seeing a 4300 on the Q. I think it was cool. Is there anything else I could talk about regarding this topic? I already mentioned how the delivery once again switched from 207 to South Brooklyn. Now they're delivering them to South Brooklyn again. The latest delivery we got was 4385 to 89, which came in South Brooklyn on November 7th last week, same time last week. What's currently not in service are 4335 to 39 that hasn't been delivered yet. And then 4375 to 4384 still have to enter service. And 4385 to 89 will not enter service until it gets a mate, likely 4390 to 94, which could come in either this week or it could come in next week. Kawasaki has built their 5,000th rail car, they said, at I think Lincoln, Nebraska, because they had like some kind of a celebration because of that. I should have put 3415 in here. Well, you know what? I think I could still do it. I think I could still put 3415 in here, but I don't know yet. I'll have to see if it works. All right, there we go. Let's show you this real quick. R211A, option order 1, 3415. The option order will be numbered from 3400 to 4039, and it will consist of 640 cars. That will likely go to concourse, but I'm not calling it yet. Wait, why did I say that? What the fuck? No, it might go to Jamaica. That's what am I thinking? 160s will probably go to concourse while these go to Jamaica. However, I'm not the MTA, and I'm not going to call any predictions. Polls can be wrong, predictions can be wrong, so I'm not going to call anything. What I am going to let you do is enjoy... What I am going to let you do is enjoy the fact that a 3000 series R211A has been built. That is quite fascinating. So, as a recap... Nope, not that one. As a recap, R211A's 4060 to 4374 are now in service. The two R211Ts are in service. And the R211S is not in service. You heard that right. The R211S has been pulled out of service, but we will get to that once I finish talking about the 211A. Up to 4374 is in service. We're still waiting on 4335 to 39 and 4390 to 4499, which is a little over 100 cars. And we're still waiting on 4385 to 89 and the aforementioned R211A units and the option order 1 R211A units to enter service. R211Ts look terrible. Like, I don't know if it's Pitkins maintenance. I don't know if they don't have a wash facility. I don't know how they do things over there, but whatever they're doing to these 211As is definitely turning me off. Like, how is it an R211A has been in the system for a little over a few months and it already looks like garbage? Straight up trash. Like, I'm like, this doesn't even look like a new train. This looks like an R42. Let me read some comments. Let me read some comments. What's up, 9? Are you excited for the 8? It's not confirmed yet. It's mainly a study. It might not be added to the MTA, but it's a study. Like, what if they do it? I don't think they should do it. I think they should leave 7th Avenue as is. Are you excited for the IBX? Yes, I am. What's up, Gunners? The 8 and 96 announcement on the 179 sounded like Alvin. Yeah, I heard that. This is Brooklyn. Hey, Express train. I'm like, what? Bro, you gotta check your announcements before you put a train into service on the 2nd Avenue line. If you're not ready to do it, don't do it. 4390 to 94 was delivered to the South Brooklyn Railway today. Okay, well, thank you for letting me know. Okay, so the R211A delivery is right on schedule. So we have 4060 to 4394 in the system, and 4385 to 94 will be one of the next consistent enter service. The next consistent enter service will be 4375 to 84. The 5 cars a week delivery schedule is remaining on pace. Thank you for letting me know. So we have 4385 to 89 delivered November 7th, and we have 4390 to 94 delivered today. Good. R211S 100 to 104 being sidelined. Yes, I'm going to get there. The Orion 7 old gens have been scrapped and sent to Eastchester scrap. I heard about that. I was fuming when I heard about that, like a couple of days ago. I was literally fuming. I'm like, we're never going to see old gens again. Because if you get rid of 3563, it's it. Like, we will have no more old gens in the MTA at all. But you know what? Like they say in the Star Wars sequel trilogy, let the past die. Kill it if you have to. And that's what the MTA is doing. Where are all the R211Ts? Usually they use one for testing and one for service. So it's very hard to catch a 211T on the sea unless you're lucky, unless you have time to wait for it. 3563 is still an old gen. It's not an old gen hybrid. It's an old gen diesel. We're never going to see old gen hybrids again. They're all gone. All of them are gone from Eastchester. We will never see an old gen hybrid again in this life, but we will hopefully get to see a preserved old gen diesel. Please, I'm imploring the MTA to preserve 3563. It's a piece of history. Please preserve it. You'll definitely not regret it. Let's talk about the R211S. 100 to 104 began service on October 8th with great fanfare. It originated from St. George and completed a run to Tottenville and back, and then completed extra runs. The 30-day test was reset twice. I believe the first time it was reset was sometime in mid-October. I'm going to check that right now. What am I seeing here? Nope. I have the subway tracking server, so I get a lot of bombardment from that server. All right, here we go. So it entered service on October 8th. I caught it on October 14th as the 602 to Great Kills. I enjoyed seeing it. It departed from, I think that's track 2, but don't quote me on it. Yeah, that's track 2. Departed from track 2 on its way to Great Kills. If you didn't know before, what they do with the express trains are that they let the express go in front of the local. They both run on the same track, but the express has the right of way. So the express runs the full trip to Tottenville, and the local runs to Great Kills. That way they have roughly an even duration in terms of their trip length. So this was running to Great Kills. It was not running all the way to Tottenville because of that aforementioned service pattern. If you look real closely, you could see the position signaling. You see a red one and you see a green one reflected off of the front of the 211S. Let's see what we have here. So on October 9th, the 30-day test reset because the train lost power at St. George. They said they were laughing at it. They said the train didn't even last 24 hours, and it already had to have its clock reset. And then after that, on October 26th, there were communication issues for the train. So the crew members couldn't communicate with each other properly when they were using the 211S. That reset the 30-day test. And then, last but not least, as of November 12th, 100 to 104 have been sidelined. Multiple issues. 105 to 109 cannot begin revenue service until the issues found on 100 to 104 have been rectified. I mean, I get it. Staten Island is not New York City subway. And even with New York City subway, the R211A that we had took a very long time to enter service. The 211S took a long time to enter service. It arrived on the island, I think, back in like December 12th, 2023, somewhere around there. And it took almost a year to enter service. But my point is, Staten Island Railway is not like New York City subway. It's a very, very different environment. And the 211S is therefore going to face a lot more challenges with like cab signaling, railroading operations, things of that nature. Positive train control, I think they have out there. Cab signaling. So it's not going to be as easy for a 211S to complete its 30-day testing as it would be for the R211A. But I'm sure they'll iron out the kinks. I don't like the fact that this doesn't have a WABCO horn. I like the WABCO horns. I also noticed that the door chime is normal. Like, I'm used to hearing like the cool stuff on the 44s, the pre-GOH door chime, the WABCO horn. That's what makes the 44s over there so unique for me. The 211S just feels like a normal train. It doesn't feel like, oh, it has these special quirks. But it's still cool to look at. It is still some good eye candy. Still fun to catch. There's nothing aesthetically wrong with these trains. I like them. They look great. But they just still have issues because Staten Island is a challenging environment for them. But with proper time and proper maintenance, they will be rectified and they will complete their 30-day test. And all the R44s will be retired sometime in 2026. Here's another picture of 105 to 109 that I took on October 6th. As you can see, it has not yet received its decals. I like the fact that they don't put decals underneath all of the number plates. I think that's a nice quirk. This consist also did some testing, but has not yet entered service because we're still waiting on 100 to 104 to get its stuff together. 3563 is owned by New York City Transit Museum. 2023 all over again. Oh yeah, I forgot that you guys hated when the R211As had the leaky gearbox issue. I was celebrating that thing. I'm like, yes! I forgot people were upset about that. Oops. LaGuardia is almost ending a Spectrum era. They have one left, and Eastchester still has 4247. Yes, 4274 did get retired recently. No more white face Spectrum. So now all you got left over there was the Spectrum that I started out my fanning of the Spectrums with, which was 4262. That was the very first Spectrum I ever caught back in Manhattanville in 2019. I caught it on the M96, then I caught it on the M4. So for it to be the very last Spectrum in existence, what an honor. I want to see an R160 on the D. Hopefully you'll get your wish. Also want to see R211A on the D. Nah, bro, you're going to have to pick one. You got to pick one. We can't have both. Unless we get a cool GO again. What's going on with the Transit Museum not announcing the weekend rides for this year? I don't know yet. I don't know if they're going to do them. They probably will. They're probably just waiting till a little later. They're cattle cars. What's up, ACE4D? Your comment has me defeated right now. That's funny. They're cattle cars. Oh man, I gotta take my glasses off for this. Oh, that was a good one. They're cattle cars. What I will say is that they don't have a lot going on in terms of features like the 179s do. The 179s got all these kooky features where you got the MTA logo over there, you got the flag in the middle, you got the bonnet, the blind end has all these like ridges on it and stuff. The 211A, when you look at like the blind end between 108 and 109 right here, it's very plain. It's very plain. And of course, you have the biggest changes aesthetically with the 211s are basically just the wider doors and narrower windows, and the 3-digit numbers. That's cool. I think it's cool. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. All right. Let you in on. Wait, can I enlarge this? Let you in on a little secret. I like the R211S more than the R211A. All right. Now that that's out the way, we finished talking about the 211Ss. The summary of the matter is they began service. Well, they arrived to the island in December 2023. No, I'm sorry. Wait, was it October? Darn, might have been October. Let me see. I think it was October. Don't mind me. I'm just looking through some stuff. I think it was October, and if so, I apologize for earlier. Let's see. I gotta scroll through 403 messages? You gotta be kidding. Okay, my bad. R211S. Here's the summary of the 211S section. 100 to 104, delivered in May 2023, did some testing on Sea Beach in mid-June, was shifted to Staten Island's Clifton shops on October 13th, then received flags around December. It tested for a very long time and then entered service on October 8th, 2024. The next day, it had a power failure at St. George. October 26th, it had a communications failure. And as of November 12th, it was pulled from service. And R211S 105 to 109 were delivered directly to the island, did some testing, and now cannot enter service because 100 to 104 is experiencing issues. These 211Ss offer the first brand new train for Staten Island in over 50 years. I consider them like the ME3s. They have less seats, which people don't like. Excuse me. They have less seats, which people don't like. They will be replacing the R44s. The R44s will likely all be gone by sometime in 2026 because they did get a little bit of a life extension. Even though a lot of them are falling apart. There's around 55 R44 cars left in service. A few R44s have already been retired since the 211Ss arrived to the island. There will be 75 cars. They will be numbered from 100 to 174. 100 to 104 is the pilot set. 105 to 174 will be the production sets. Together, that will make 15 R211S cars. I don't know if the cars themselves will be disconnectable or if you'll have to leave them in 5-car consists. I don't know what they're going to do with that yet. And it looks like is potentially future R211Ss might be delivered straight to the island without having to test on New York City trackage first. Was that everything I wanted to say about it? I think that was everything I wanted to say about. Oh yeah, also no Wabco horn and normal door chime. That's it for the 211S. Next topic. I love that picture. That one too. Oh yes. There's the R32, one of the two R32 cars on Staten Island for work duty. Did I see the link for your R211 roster archive? I did not see it yet, and welcome MTA01 to the stream. What's up, Awesome Gamer 69? R211A on the D would be cool. That would be cool, not. Did you know that 351 to 353 were transferred from West Farms to Gleason? I believe I mentioned it in the last update, or I'm gonna mention it in this update. Let me see, because this update only needs a few more days of work and then it will be out. It's almost completed. I mentioned it in the script for this update. That's what it was. It's in the script. However, I accidentally skipped the West Farm section. I don't know if the R9s are doing test runs. I hope so. That would be fun. Now let's talk about XE40s. We have 4986 and 4995 to 96, 3 units, at Kingsbridge. 4995 was transferred from Grand to Kingsbridge. 4986 entered service back in September on the BX13, and then subsequently ran on the BX20 and M100. Let me see. I want the actual enter date. It entered service on September 12th on the BX13. When it entered service, it did not have a sticker. However, it got one the next day. This picture was taken on September 27th. So, as you can see, Kingsbridge now has a minor electric fleet. It's not that big of a deal. If they want to shift LFS HEVs to Manhattanville, they will definitely need to get more units. There are still around 16 XE40s that still have yet to be assigned to a depot. So hopefully Kingsbridge will get a greater chunk of these. 4957 was shifted back to Quill, while 4952 returned to Kingsbridge. Here is XE40 4981, taken sometime in September. One of its early days of being in service. Quill quickly got the XE40s through September, October, and a little bit of November, and they currently have 17 units. They have 4981 to 82, 4984 to 85, 4988 to 4993, I think, 4988 to 4993, 4997 to 5001, and 5003 to 5004, somewhere around that range. A lot of times they run on the M11 school tripper. I completely approve of that. Completely. And I think I have a picture of it on this next slide here. I should have a picture of it. Nope. That's the Quill sticker there. That's XE40 4999. It was running on the M66. I took that picture on October 25th. As you can see, no more Wi-Fi sticker. They got rid of that on buses like a year or so ago, if not more. I think it was more, like over a year ago. Here's an XE40 on the M11. That was one of the test units back in 2017. I took that picture in 2020. That's what they look like when they run on the school tripper. However, these XE40s look a little bit like XN40s because the roof is significantly higher than the original XEs. The XEs used to look like XDEs. Now they look like XNs. Here's 4981 again. These buses are nice and shiny. There's 4999, M66. That unit entered service sometime in mid-October. There is it on the transfers, and oh, we're not up to that part yet. So there it is, speeding through the 66th Street transverse. Do you think Kingsbridge should get other Excelsior buses besides the XE40? Well, first of all, welcome to the TechnoTalks, Rays. Glad to have you on board, and I do think that Kingsbridge should get more Excelsiors. Why not? I would love to see XD60s or even another model of Excelsior infiltrate Kingsbridge in the future. Best depot, in my opinion, Kingsbridge. I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm not going to be too long. Kingsbridge used to be my depot. M100 and BX7 all the way, with the added bonus of the BX3 and BX13. Used to be. No longer. Manhattanville is now my full rep depot. But Kingsbridge used to be my rep as well because of the M100 and BX7. When they were getting the 2015 and 2019 LFSs, I was so gassed up by that. Incredibly gassed up by that. I still rock with Kingsbridge time to time, but with the whole LFS HEV era, they kind of fell off in my eyes. Let's look at the grand ones. That's the 4986 again on the M100. There's a 4966. 4965 and 66 were the first two XE40s to arrive back in late 2023. Well, actually like August and October 2023, sometime around there. They tested for a little while and then they went back to New Flyer. It is unknown when their replacements will come. Now let's talk about the Grand units. The Grand Avenue XE40s, they got a lot of 4970s. They got 4971 to 49. Well, I'm going to just pull up the thing. Let me just do that real quick. Governor Hochul will resume congestion pricing in New York City. Drivers will be charged $9 instead of $15 below 60th Street. Well, I mean, it's good. I just read that from my friend. He sent me that. I think it's good that they're resuming it, and I understand why they lower it to make it more appealing for people. That way it's not too much of a hit in the pocket. So Grand Avenue currently has 24 XD40s assigned to them. Grand Avenue has 24 XE40s, 4971 to 4980, 4983, 4994, and 5008 to 5019. Now, I did see one of those XE40s, 4980, at the Bus Fest. However, I don't use it a lot in my footage, but that should quickly change. I need to start using that bus more in my videos because it's going to help me make Next Stop News better. So, Kingsbridge has 3 XE40s, Grand Avenue has 24, Quill has 17, and Charleston borrows 2 from Quill, those being 4984 to 85. So we currently have 44 XE40s delivered to property, and we still need 16, those being 4965 to 4970, 4998, 5005 to 5007, and 5020 to 5024. Now, there may be an error of plus or minus 1 unit in my calculations, so please do account for that. Here's 4971 back in August, around the time it initially arrived. That's our next topic. We'll talk about the next gens. We rode the Orion 5s on Kingsbridge routes, childhood. Same here. I absolutely enjoyed riding the Orion 5s on the M100, on the BX7. I never rode them on the BX3, but I always saw them on the BX3. And then in late or mid-2016, West Farms borrowed a couple, 6033 and 6267. I caught those on the BX35 and BX36. Absolutely irreplicable times. I would love to go back in time to visit and just ride them again That would be super fun. And then, of course, you had the last two Orion 5, 6025 and 6333. Now, 6333 was an absolute warrior when it was at Kingsbridge, so I'm glad that was one of the last two Orion 5s. And now I think we have one Orion 5 left, like 6325, I think, which is still an Eastchester scrap, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on that one. I think that one is the one that's still up there. And then you have the preserved B-line Orion 5s, 174 and 180. I remember riding the BX-15 to school when it was at West Farms. Oh, when it was at West Farms. Oh, man. Great times. Great times. I remember always seeing XD40s on the BX-15. I'll admit, I took it for granted, and now it's gone. So, lesson learned, never take things for granted. Let's talk about Staten Island. As you can see, here's a Jamaica sticker. Jamaica and Castleton had a little swap. Well, it wasn't a little swap. Jamaica got robbed. My friend is still salty about that. He's still like mad salty about that. Oh, man. Okay. Jamaica Depot. Jamaica got, essentially, they got 22 2019 LFSs in exchange for 23 Coneheads being sent to Castleton. 22 Coneheads. There's 22 for 22. You had 22 Coneheads that were sent to Castleton. Here's one of those Coneheads, 8895, I believe, which still has a Jamaica sticker on its driver's side. 22 Coneheads were sent to Castleton, those being 8889, 8891 to 98, 8901, 12 to 13, 15, 18, 23 to 27, 89, 31, 33, and 35. And then Castleton gave 8694 to 8707, 8710 to 13, and 8715 to 18 to Jamaica. That was quite strange to see because Jamaica skipped the 2019 LFS order when it came because they got 2019 XD40s instead. So for them to now have 2019 LFSs is mad interesting. Excuse me. And also for Castleton to have Coneheads because they were initially supposed to get 20. That was the original assignment. If you're an OG, you remember that the Conehead assignment originally was going to be East New York 69, Jamaica 20, Casey Stengel, I think like 5th. Was Casey Stengel involved in it? I think they were. Now, you know what? Let me find that video. Let me find that. Which depot is better? Queens Village, Casey, or Jamaica? It depends on how I want to answer this question. If you are talking in terms of old fleets, that's still complicated. Oh, darn. In terms of old fleets, all of them competed with each other. You had Queens Village rocking with 97 RTSs, with 04 old gens, with they didn't get the 07s until they did that trade with Stengel. So they had cool stuff. Jamaica had 96 RTSs, 99 RTSs, and next gens. And then Stengel had the 07 old gens as well as the Orion 5. So in terms of the best, I guess you could say Queens Village because of the fact that they had the flip dot old gens. But in terms of right now, Queens Village got dumped on with 2015 LFSs, so that's not even in the running anymore. Casey Stengel is basically the only interesting piece of Queens Depot left out there because they still got the next gens. And Jamaica now has 2019 LFSs, so it's basically now just a carbon copy of Queens Village, but with XD40s. So I would have to say right now, Casey Stengel is the best. Back then, Queens Village was the best. That's my answer. There's an R44. As formerly mentioned, those will be retired sometime in 2026. 55 cars remain. This is from an area essentially right above St. George. Everything above the St. George terminal is artificial land. It's not real. It's not real at all. You see those pillars holding up the actual ground above it? All of that land was added on later. It's like Battery Park City. Battery Park City is not real. It was only made because of the fact that the Twin Towers were built. Once they built the Twin Towers, they excavated so much land that they literally ended up building Battery Park City. Just like how they floated that plan a couple years ago to extend Manhattan. They would do that using ground from projects they had excavated. So the same way they built Battery Park is the same way that they will extend Manhattan if they do that in the future. One 2019 LFS 8714 is still at Castleton. That is true, but it hasn't run since October 7th. It's probably getting some form of maintenance. That would be my guess. And it's probably getting ready to be shifted to Jamaica in exchange for 8937. There was a time where Queens Village had Orion 5s with the 6V92s. Oh, I would have loved to have been a transit fan back then, or even been like alive back then or whatever. I think I was alive back then. I just wasn't old enough. Yeah. 4987 is here too. I forgot about that unit. Thank you. So there's probably like 14 XE40s that still remain to be delivered right now. Because I'm finished essentially with the fleet status. It's almost ready to go. I just have to update all of the information. Because what I do first is I make the script. I record the script. I add the pictures. I format everything. I go back and update it again to reflect all current information, and then I do final touches, sound editing, photo editing, and then I submit. That's how the updates are made. The update is very close to completion, so that is good news for you guys. Is 3563 still at Eastchester Scrap? Yes, it is. Remember when Manhattanville sent an old gen to West Farms? I do remember that, but sadly I never caught it. That's permanent. What's permanent? MTA 01. Please provide further clarification while I get some water. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I was gonna find the original assignments for, let's see. Can we watch YouTube videos on this OBS? I really hope so. I really, really do. Oh, right. Window capture. Okay. Show window capture. Of course, there's the Next Stop News Planning Board. This is where I write all my updates. So here's the script. Usually you wouldn't see something like this, but I feel like leaking classified documents today. I mean, that it basically covers all the Mabastoa stuff, the TA stuff. We have the MCIs, the ex-New Jersey Transit MCI 7101 to 7118, which are now 2195 to 2209. Most of them have now been repainted, and one of them went to the Grand CMF to be prepared for service. It is unknown whether I think they are going to New York City Bus, because one of them had a New York City Bus decal, so at least a few of them are going to New York City Bus. Some of them might go to MTA Bus, not confirmed. Me personally, I wouldn't send them to MTA Bus because they're about to get the 2025 to 26 Prevost, 1630 to 1879, with 1630 and 1631 already being built and being seen. So me personally, I wouldn't give MTA Bus any old MCIs at all. Here's the MTA Bus part, JFK, LaGuardia, College Point, rare runs, summarizing events. There's Then of course I log my progress, how quickly the update's being produced. As you can see with this one's being produced rather quickly because I want to get to the subway update. I haven't given a subway update in months because I have bias against the R211s. Let's watch some YouTube stuff. I gotta first clear it, so make sure I don't show anything I don't want to show. We're gonna go back to this window for now until I prep up my upload. Are coming. All right. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Okay. Next time news. It's this one. Let's take a walk back in time. Yeah, it's this one. All right, let's enjoy this. Just vibing today. Oh, part 2 of Next Stop News. We have never done this before, but there's never been an event like this before. Right now, as I come to you unscripted, very late at night, it has been pretty much confirmed, but not set in stone, that a member of the forums named Kate Sith has released the depot projections for the new hybrids. The text says these are preliminary assignments and are subject to change, but as we currently stand, Kingsbridge will get 25 LFS hybrids, Manhattanville will get 58, Michael J. Quill will get 62, Tuskegee Airmen will get 20. The option orders will be Gun Hill with 20, Manhattanville with 94, and Michael J. Quill with 12. The XE40s will be 25 to East New York, 15 to Manhattanville, 45 to Mother Clara Hale, and 25 to Casey Stengel. The Prevost X345s that will be coming in blue and gold will be 8 for Baisley Park, 82 for College Point, 48 for Eastchester, 23 for JFK and Far Rockaway, 22 for LaGuardia, 45 for Spring Creek, 39 for Yonkers, and 50 for Meredith. And the LFS diesel option order would be 69 for East New York, 50 for Casey Stengel, 20 for Jamaica, 50 for Queens Village, and 20 for Castleton. That was the part I wanted. That's the reason I went there. That was the original Conehead assignment. Castleton was supposed to get 20 Coneheads in the past, and then Jamaica essentially robbed them from being able to do that in favor of having all the Coneheads be at Queens. So, because of the fact that Castleton took 22 Coneheads, it's essentially like they're fulfilling their order retroactively in terms of Conehead deliveries. It's like they're making good on their aforementioned promise of having 20 Coneheads, but except they took 2 extra ones. And 50 for Meredith. And the LFS diesel option order would be 69 for East New York. 69 for East New York. 50 for Casey Stengel, 20 for Jamaica, 50 for Queens Village, and 20 for Castleton. As well as... So those were the original Conehead assignments. It was 69 East New York, 69 East New York, 50 Casey Stengel, 50 Queens Village, 20 Castleton, and 20 Jamaica, for a total of like 209. So Castleton essentially, because of the fact that Castleton did get 22 Coneheads, it's almost like they retroactively fulfilled that order. So it's like almost like sweet, sweet revenge for Castleton. There's one of the Castleton Coneheads, 8896, in operation on the S76 to Oakwood. I have a lot of good footage that I'm sitting on because I'm not ready to release it yet. So that's what a Conehead looks like on stat. Oh, we're back here now. And it's over. Darn. I pressed the wrong button. That's okay. Let's talk about Yukon now. The Yukon Queens Village swap was quite interesting and a lot more damning than the Castleton Queens Village swap. It was essentially a 20 for 20 swap, with Yukon getting around 20 Coneheads and Queens Village getting around 20 2015 and 2019 LFS. Yukon got a bunch of 8800s and 8900s. Those are Orions. I don't want Orions right now. There we go. Yukon got 8759, 8848 to 50, 8856, 8860, 62 to 63, 8879, 8899 to 8900, 8902 to 04, 8910 to 11, 8919, 8932, 8936, and 8955 from Queens Village. Those are the units which they snatched from them. And then they gave the 2015 LFSs 8294 to 8299, 8301 to 8308, 8310 to 11, and then 2019 LFSs 8613, 8720, 22, and 25 to Queens Village. So Queens Village got 2015s and 2019s. Yukon got Coneheads. Now, what makes this interesting is that Yukon was never supposed to get the Coneheads in any reality. So for them to get Coneheads at all is quite a shocking thing. This has enabled them to use newer buses on the S79 Select, albeit without bike racks, while putting the bike rack 2019 LFSs on routes that go to St. George. Very interesting development. Do I have any more? Yeah, there's 8904 going south on Staten Island. I like the Yukon Coneheads more than the Castleton Coneheads, believe it or not, but for both depots, it is exciting for them to have these Coneheads. As formerly mentioned, they gave the 2015 LFSs to Queens Village, further dampening the quality of the depot and virtually making Queens Village unfannable. I can't with all these 2015 LFSs, man. This is crazy. This is legit insane. Like, why do you have that many 2015 LFSs? Literally torture. Literally torture. Because when you look at the roster, and this is a plug for Kingsbridge Viewers site, 86 2015 LFSs, that's crazy. Combined with nearly 50 2011 LFSs? No way, that's almost like 140 white and blue LFSs. Literal insanity. And 37 Coneheads is crazy. That's crazy. Like, getting 20 Coneheads snatched from you is crazy work. I can't fan this depot no more, man. I can't do it. Can't do it. Anything more from this particular slide? Yep, okay, this slide is done. Let's go to this slide. And we will be talking about the next gens. There's the XE40s. You saw those before. Let's talk about some next gens. Okay, so in terms of next gens, the number is somewhere around 160. I think it's like, well, let me check my notes, because my notes might not be accurate right now, but they're pretty close. I think it's around like 19 lithiums left at JFK, somewhere underneath 60 being at LaGuardia, somewhere around 8 at Baisley, around 7 at Eastchester, 19 at Manhattanville, 8 at Stengel, 6 at East New York, 9 at Flatbush, and 10 at Fresh Pond. The MTA bus ones are estimates because the number is consistently changing, with one Spectrum being left at LaGuardia and one being left at Eastchester. There are around 3 active next gens at Eastchester, but there's around 7 left in total. But only 3 out of those 7 are active. So it's a little around 160 next gens left, with like less than 100 of them now being at MTA Bus. The next gens are quickly depleting as a fleet. JFK is going to be to the point where they will have less next gens than Manhattanville pretty soon, which I never thought I would hear that sentence being uttered out of my mouth. There's 4649. A lot of the 2010 next gens at JFK are now beginning to die because they already blazed through all of, or most of the 2009s. So now they're killing 2010s. You start seeing 2010 next gens dying, that's a bad sign. that means that your whole fleet is in danger. Everything, all Orions are in danger of extinction. There's the Manhattanville, one of the Manhattanville next gens. The Manhattanville next gens like to be passed around between Tuskegee, Quill, and Kingsbridge, which makes for interesting fanning opportunities. One of them, 4693, as well as I think 4683 as well, have Kingsbridge. Have Quill stickers. And a lot of them do commonly visit Kingsbridge routes for a service. 4690 was recently on the BX7 last month. That was exciting to hear about. And one of the XE40s, 4996, also ran on the BX7. In terms of MTA Bus Coneheads, we have like over 160 at JFK. We're approaching 40 for LaGuardia, and Baisley is done. JFK is basically just receiving the remaining Order 1 units, while receiving mainly a lot of Order 2 units. Their allotment ranges from 9010 to 9170, 9010 to 9188. That's their allotment, 179 Coneheads. While LaGuardia's allotment is 9189 to 9271. However, they have taken it upon themselves to yoink 2 of JFK's units, 9163 and 9180. I will remember what you did. I will remember. I don't forget stuff like that. I will not forget what you did. I will be visiting you, LaGuardia Depot. So there is one of the newest Coneheads, 9138, running on the Q8. With the Coneheads arriving at MTA Bus and not going to Eastchester, they were essentially setting the stage for Queens to be a Conehead-dominated borough until the Staten Island swaps occurred. So now we have Coneheads in Queens and Staten Island. There's 9113 on the Q6. That was also one of the newest units to enter service at the time. I really love when they just enter service because they're definitely mad shiny and really enjoyable to fan. That's it for this slide as well. Now for our final set of pictures. Yukon did a swap with Charleston for Prevost. Yukon got 2022 Prevost, 1614 to 1625 from Charleston, option order Prevost, while Yukon gave late 2500s and 2600s to Charleston. They gave 2504 to 06 and 2599 to 2607 to Charleston in exchange for 1614 to 1625. So now Meredith has 50 Prevosts, Yukon has 12, and Charleston has 11 blue and gold Prevosts. Wildfires. We're starting to see a lot of wildfires in New Jersey as well as New York. We had a fire at Prospect Park over the weekend, and then we had a fire at High Bridge a couple days ago, November 12th. That is very concerning because you don't usually see wildfires in Manhattan. The cause for wildfires being present at this time are lack of rain and a drought period, as well as potentially unsafe activities like barbecuing. So definitely an environmental concern. Remember when LaGuardia overheated 4604? Bro, bro, you're being petty and I love it. I love it. Like, don't let them forget nothing. I love it, bro. That's crazy. Like, LaGuardia did screw up that unit. I remember that. That we can't let nothing go when it comes to LaGuardia. We got to remember the RTS fire. The RTSs ain't even here no more. we got to point out when they screw up their buses. When they basically had to pull all their Coneheads out of service in late June because they kept having some issues. Pitkin does not have washers, but still they do a terrible job maintaining the subway cars, and it has been like this for decades. Maybe that's why they would always get all the hand-me-downs. Speaking of hand-me-downs, that's a perfect segue. Go watch the video if you haven't. It's Not Like Us, new rendition I did. I went to Flatbush to get a 22, or I went Flatbush to get LFSs. Coneheads at Flatbush? Nah, that's that's devious work, bro. Coneheads at Flatbush will go insanely hard. The link to your Discord server doesn't work. Oh man. I wanted 8090 to 8123 to stay in East New York. I couldn't agree more. The 2015 LFSs at East New York was fantastic. Absolutely loved it. I was mad sad when they got shifted to Jamaica. And now we got to talk about Jamaica. Oh, Jamaica. Oh, how you have built a reputation with me. You are getting what you deserve. You kept stealing from every depot. You stole RTSs from East New York. You stole XD40s from West Farms. You stole 2015 LFSs from East New York. You borrowed XD40s from Grand. You stole 7572 before Quill could even get it. You took it for yourself off of some LFS HEV vibe. But now you have gotten what you deserve. 22 Coneheads have been robbed from you because you have done all the robbing. Meanwhile, all your XD40s migrate to Brooklyn. So now you know how it feels to be on the side of someone else stealing your shit. With that out of the way, let's go to our next topic. We already talked about the Not Like Us. Let's talk about some Trainz stuff. I'm currently still working on the Customia Map. I'm building a couple railroads. This is the Farmingdale branch. Particular station is East Village. It's going to be a 3-track express line, kind of like the Floral Park to Hicksville. And it's going to be very fun. I also built a speedway, a test track, if you will, which runs for 6 miles. So you could test equipment, push it to its limits, maybe even hit 201 miles per hour. I also saw 4699 at Norwood. Yes, that unit was recently loaned. Why does the M3 signage now say St. Nicholas, 193rd? Personally, I have no clue. Maybe they wanted it to be in sync with the XE40 code. Some XE40s still have the old M3 signage. Mainly when I see an XE40 on the M3, nowadays I just see the new signage. I've seen it so long that I forgot that the M3s initially had the old signage. Charleston is permanent. Okay, I'm glad to hear that the Yukon Charleston swap is permanent. New York City needs 6 inches of rain, by the way. Thank you for weighing in, Michael. Hello, welcome to the stream. We got to remember that stolen license plate as well. Bro, stolen license plate? Nah, tell me more. I need to know about this one now. The one at next week won't do it as it's lower than 6 inches. That's what she said. So about R211As, there's actually rumors that the R211s can go to the DNF, which means that Concourse and Jamaica are in equal probability to get the 211s. Like I said, I'm not the MTA. I just report on what I see. So whoever gets the option order 1 R211As, that'll be that. I'm like I'm basically, I report the news. I don't make the news. Now that a few R211s are now in the sea, I rode one on November 12th and recorded it. I'm glad to hear that you were able to catch one. They're definitely getting a lot easier to catch, and catching them is quite fun to do. There's an R30 on the E train. I'm also working on some routes in the city. My E train is going to run from World Trade Center to around Jamaica 179. Here's the Space Tyrant with a Glock. That is my employee. He currently assigns me on different missions to conquer a bunch of planets. I don't know why he does it. Maybe he's bored, but I can't disobey my instructions, so I gotta conquer some planets. Let's see. Oh yeah, we have Invincible Season 3 is coming on February 6, 2025. I'm quite excited. 2025 is also the year when GTA 6 is slated to come out. Some are saying it's going to come out sometime in October. Hopefully we'll get Stranger Things 5 in 2025. We're also going to get The Boys Season 5. That's going to be quite exciting as well. Season 4 was great. Season 5 is going to be even better. With the Invincible series, they're essentially going off of the comic book. Like, the comic book is essentially providing the blueprint for the Invincible show. So, if you want to know what happens in Invincible, and you don't mind spoilers, go watch or go read the comic. Now, The Boys is deviating heavily from the comic. Yes, there was a comic for The Boys, but it's not following the comic script, or the outline, I should say. It is deviating from the outline. And, oh darn it, what is going on with me? Okay. Alright. Yeah, I just had to get something. The winter runs, let's go back to the trains thing for a bit. We're going to have some winter runs. Usually they're going to happen on Thursdays in December through March. And we're going to run on the 1 line, the 2 line, the 8 line, and the railroad. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. We're also going to do the J, V, and Z. What else we got? Oh yeah, glasses mode. Glasses mode. All right, now we are in another gear. These are my fancy glasses. So now we can really get some stuff done. We talked about that. That was incredible. I'm still stoked about this. It's cool seeing the blue doors because you know that's where the New York State stripe is gonna go. Essentially, there is no change between the option order 1 R211As and the base order. It's the same model, just like with the MTA Bus Coneheads and New York City Transit Coneheads, and that option order models essentially have no change from the base order, unless they elect to have a change. The only time I can really remember when there was a change was with the 2015 XD40s. That the LaGuardia ones had different specs than the New York City Transit XD40s. They had the, I think it was called, I think the Brooklyn XD40s had the American Standard seat, and the MTA Bus XD40s had American Insight seating, if I'm not mistaken. The XD40s also had Axion, while the Brooklyn ones had Luminator. So MTA Bus did change quite a few specs for their XD40s. And that became the template for their 2016 XD60 order as well, which also had Axion signs, bright screens, and but then they reverted to the Brooklyn Bus style of seating. It was exciting when MTA Bus first got Excelsiors. But now seeing them get XD40s and then seeing College Point use them, even more exciting. Fascinating stuff. Definitely a great time to be a transit fan, especially a New York City transit fan. I already talked about like weather and space stuff. It is true that we barely got any rain. Like we're not getting that much rain nowadays. So wildfires like this are more subject to occur. And I guess for the rest of it, I could show off Next Stop News, show off some old, and credit to Pixel 11 by the way for this picture. I could show off Next Stop News, show some old videos, respond to comments, and we could just vibe out until maybe like 2:30. Gotta charge up though because I'm running out of battery. Okay, there we go. The stolen license plate happened in June, and that was LaGuardia. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think I vaguely remember hearing about that. Another embarrassing moment for LaGuardia. What's up, MTA01? Yukon had the 2015 and 2019 LFS swap. Yes, I did talk about that. The C40 LFs at West Farms are leaving because of the XT40 transfers. Yes, I did catch one of them on the BX11. I want to catch a few more because XT40s at West Farms again is fantastic. LaGuardia lost their CNG privileges for a reason. When should I upload it? Whenever you want to. It's on you. Me personally, I have a schedule. Weekdays at 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. I can upload at 8 p.m., but I prefer to upload at 2. But today's upload is getting delayed because of this podcast. College Point fucked up 9272. Darn it! Why? Why? Darn. Now I'm upset because of that. That's crazy. All right, so let's vibe out on YouTube or something. I don't know. I can show you the other one too. Other slideshow. These are a few stations I made for my railroad and trains. This is my version of New Jersey. That's my version of Port Jefferson. That's some kind of terminal. That's my version of Penn Station. My version of Woodside. Tunnels. Oh, this is me trolling right here. I'm trolling. I wanted to put a grade junction to mock what they did in Mineola with siding the Oyster Bay branch on one side. Now the Oyster Bay branch has to use one track instead of two at Mineola. So my way of dissing that decision was allowing the local track to cross over not one, not two, but 3 whole tracks in spite. I literally built this out of spite. I already showed that. That was my Not Like Us video that I dropped last week. This is my schedule. Transit uploads, except for today, of course, because we're doing the TechnoTalks. Next time, this is an ideal schedule. This is something I'm trying to reach. Meme vids. This is when I do crazy stuff on my channel. I made the first two, or I'm sorry, I made the first one, the last one. Certified Rizzler came from somewhere else, but I made the Certified Shitter one. Open BVE every Tuesday. I'm trying to get to that point. Route 19 every Wednesday, trying to get there. GTA I can't do right now. This I am doing, but the time is kind of off. There's my A and C trains. 7 train. 11 train, which is in Customia. More railroad shots. If you have Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019, this station is called Suburban Station 1995. Some World's Fair R33s. My version of Woodside, which I call Maple Square. And that's it for that. So now we go to window capture. And we go to YouTube. The news that 1301, which you guys remember this, is now at Plattsburgh. That was great. That is awesome. That is literally awesome. If it wasn't awesome, I would not be making this video right now. Enough with the rambling, Techno. Enough with the ramble. Let's see what else we have here. This was like a whole list of stuff. Oh yes, one of my first videos, the Coney Island Jamaica swap. Fun times. I made the Next Stop News like right before COVID, and then COVID hit, and then you know what happened after that. So here are all the ones I've done in the past. As you see, they become more sporadic as my schedule gets all screwed up. My release schedule got all screwed up. This is the most recent one, MTA Bus. I'm making a follow-up to that right now. Ooh, yes, yes, ooh la la. Yes. That's nice. And then what else we got? Well, I guess I could show the my current progress on the update. Keep in mind, disclaimer, not all information is up to date. This is just to show you how much progress I've made at the moment. Okay. iMovie, where's that at? iMovie. Oh, there we go. All right. Let's enjoy. It's not done. This is a draft. Hello and welcome to November 2024's edition of Next Stop News. We will be discussing fleet status changes within the MTA's bus fleet on both the New York City Transit and MTA bus sides of operation, including new XE40 and Conehead deliveries and shifts, next-gen retirements, express bus developments, and other exciting loans, transfers, and general news. Without further ado, let us begin. As of September 27, 2024, or before, buses now aggressively display the fare required code, as they did in the middle days of the pandemic, beginning in September of 2020, when the MTA had to begin requiring fares from people once they opened the front door for operation. West Farm section. The delivery of 2024 New Flyer XE40s. Wait, hold on. You see, I wasn't lying when I said I skipped the West Farm section for now. I'll have to come back to that later. Pace throughout September to November, rapidly being delivered to the JFK vendor, then being dispersed to Grand or their respective depots. Kingsbridge received 3 XE40s, 4986 and 4995 to 96. 4986 was the first XE40 to be delivered to Kingsbridge, which occurred on September 9, 2024. It did operator training on the M100, then entered service on the BX13 on September 12th without a depot sticker. However, it got a depot sticker the next day. The first time it ran on my home route, the M100, was on September 17, 2024. They got 4995 indirectly from Grand Avenue. XE60 4957 returned to Michael J. Quill on September 30th, while 4952 returned to Kingsbridge from the JFK vendor on October 29th and still remains at the depot for now. Michael J. Quill got 1 XE40 4984 from Charleston, as well as 5 XE40s 4985, 88 89, and 4991 to 92 from Grand, as well as 9 XE40s delivered straight to them, 4981 to 82, 4990, 93, 97, 99 to 5000, and 5002 to 5003. I believe that the ones at Grand were not used before they went to Quill. They were merely there for preparation. Maybe they just went there for a charge or something.
Maybe they just went there for a
4985 are transitory units that Quill rotates with Charleston for occasional service at Quill and training at Charleston. In total, Quill now has 15 XE40s. Many of the deliveries to Quill took place in September and October. I will say this again, I haven't put the update up to date yet. I always do a pre-release check to make sure all of the info is up to date. I haven't done that yet, so some of the info is a little bit old and needs to be updated. I'm just showing you what's currently done right now. October. I caught 4981 brand new in the Bronx on the 2 shuttle. I was not expecting to see it up there. 4982 ended up being the first XE40 to get into a minor accident, doing so on September 27th on the M22. Grand Avenue got 15 XE40s, 4972 to 75, 77 to 79, 4985, 88 to 89, 91 to 92, 94 to 95, and 5003. However, only 8 of these XE40s were for keeps, those being 4972 to 75, 4977 to 79, and 4994. Mainly the 4970 series. 4979 and 5009 both made trips to the JFK vendor for maintenance. On September 26th, 5008 to 09, 5012, 16 to 17, and 19, 6 Grand Avenue XE40s were all at the JFK vendor for maintenance. 5011 visited East New York on September 20th, while 4994 visited East New York and 4976 visited Fresh Pond on November 6th. These Excelsiors definitely love to travel, Regarding Excelsiors at Charleston Depot, 4971 made a trip from Grand to Charleston on September 12th. 4984 was delivered straight to Charleston Depot and remained there from October 3rd to October 21st, before being shifted to Quill. 4985 was redelivered from Grand to Charleston on September 26th.
Wait, let me see if I could actually can I enlarge this window? I'm looking at this small window. If I do that. No. I don't want to mess up my settings. That's why I'm kind of We'll leave it like this. Oh, okay. Okay, there you go. Now you can enjoy it a little better.
And remain there until October 21st as well, before being shifted to Quill. 4984 to 85 have made various cycling trips between Charleston and Quill, being located at Charleston on October 30th and November 6th. In the past, Charleston has trained with Excelsiors, so using an Excelsior is no big deal for them. They trained with XE40 9429 along the S76 route on August 3rd, 2023, this being one of several XE40s that was sent to Staten Island for training. They held 7564 from October 2nd to October 8th, 2024, and trained with 7603 on October 23rd. Those are 2018 to 2019 XT40s. XE40s 4989 and 4992 were both seen on the way on August 29th and September 1st respectively. Both units are now in service at Quill. Here is a list of the current 2024 New Flyer XE40s that have been delivered to MTA New York City Transit. We have 43 out of our 60 required units listed here. Now,
as formerly mentioned, 4987 is here now, and 4987 is here now.
Now, for the non-XE40 related news. As of mid-October and early November, various Kingsbridge buses are out of service due to needing repairs. Several of these units were sent to Manhattanville for storage and repair, some of which are listed here. 8383 and 9661.
The gap filler is crazy.
Stored at Manhattanville, these were merely transport buses for the crew. As a result of many of Kingsbridge's buses being out of service, Manhattanville Depot is loaning various hybrids to Kingsbridge to fill in rush hour trips that can't be made with Kingsbridge buses. 9888 is officially the hoe of Manhattanville. How you out here taking Rod from every Mabistoa depot in existence? Manhattanville, Kingsbridge, Gun Hill, Tuskegee, and you even had an affair with Quill at one point. It's so bad that the unit took 2 weeks before it could even run on a Manhattanville route again, between late October and early November, of course. This is a problem because Kingsbridge needs to send LFS HEVs to Manhattanville so that the latter could retire their next gens. But instead, we have to give buses to y'all because y'all don't know how to take care of shit. Quill received XDE40s 9463, 75, 9560, and 72 as loans from Hell on November 5th. 5898, 5913, 5986, and 6105 are back at Tuskegee from Quill, while LFSAs 5253, 62, 5313, 39, 5924, and XD60, 6075, and 6101 remain at Michael J. Quill for now. Casey Stengel got LFS's 8041 and 8453 as loans, which returned to Jamaica on October 17th. Grand Avenue loaned several Excelsiors to Fresh Pond and got 7207.
Hold on, I gotta pause it here. Just give them the darn XD40s. They need to retire their next gens anyway. Just give them the XD40s. Make life easier for yourself.
69 and 7524 back from Fresh Pond. They also loaned XD40 720203, 15, 25, 54, and 7369, as well as XDE40 9505 to East New York between October 15th and 16th. XD40 7347 is back at Flatbush after a brief loan to Grand in October. Fresh Pond retired 4068 to 69, 4203, and 4448, reducing their total to 10 next gens, listed here. The 4000s were retired on September 9th and sent to Eastchester Scrap on September 12th. Yes, this is an indirect result of the XE40 delivery. Flatbush retired 4614, reducing their total to 9 next gens, listed here. Excelsiors 4748, 4868, and 7133 returned to Omar Park in September. In Staten Island, on September 5th, 2024, 304 out of the 798 Staten Island buses were out of service and in need of repair. That's 3/8 of the whole fleet. On October 18th, 14 third gens, listed here, were all held out of service for maintenance. 7,000 was even sent to Meredith for maintenance. Throughout October, depots in Staten Island engaged in an exciting trade with Queens depots. Such trading involved 2022 Nova LFS Coneheads, as well as 2015 and 2019 LFSs. As such, this trade marked the first time that the LFS Conehead fleet has ventured out of Queens for revenue service. You may consider this as a mileage swap due to Staten Island's terrible maintenance mentioned earlier, or even as Castleton making good on their originally promised allotment of 20 Coneheads, while dragging Yukon into the mix. The first Coneheads to be shifted from Jamaica to Castleton were 8889 and 8891 on September 30th, which were equipped with Castleton stickers the next day. In all, Castleton received 8889, 91 to 98, 8901, 12 to 13, 15, 18, 23 to 27, 89, 31, 33, and 35. 22 units from Jamaica. In exchange, Castleton gave 2019...
Jamaica. Let's proceed.
In exchange, Castleton gave 2019 LFSs to Jamaica. 8698 and 8710 were the first 2019 LFSs sent to Jamaica, done on October 1st. In total, Jamaica received 22 2019 LFSs, 8694 to 8707, 10 to 13, and 15 to 18. What a sight to see, especially considering that Jamaica initially skipped this order when it was being delivered, in favor of the 2017 to 2019 XD40s. Nearly as exciting as seeing a 2015 XD40 at Jamaica. 8937 is now the last 8900 series Conehead LFS left at Jamaica. 8704 and 8707 were sent from Castleton to Jamaica on October 22nd, 23 days after the swap began, nearly marking the end of the 2019 LFS era at Castleton, at least for now. As of October 22nd, 8714 is the last 2019 LFS left at Castleton, but it hasn't run since October 7th. 8704 and 8709 were formerly damaged from Hurricane Ida, and that's why they were not sent to Jamaica. Similar situation to 7507 and 7548 from Jamaica.
Wait, hold on. Wait, let me see something. 8704 and 8709. 8704 was sent, so I have to change that. That's an error in the actual video. Situation to 7507 and 7548 from Jamaica. After this swap between Castleton and Jamaica occurred, rumors began floating around that more Staten Island depots would get in on the action. Thankfully, I took heed to such warnings and began to broaden my horizon in terms of Staten Island bus fanning. These rumors were later confirmed through transfers in mid-October. The first Coneheads to be shifted from Queens Village to Yukon were 8899 and 8955 on October 15th, the latter of which received Yukon stickers on the same day. Hold on. Hold on, I need to do it. The YMCA. And darn it, this is going to take me on a... I don't want to talk about the election because it's so controversial. It's like, I'm just going to do the YMCA thing because I think it's buffoonish, it's hilarious as shit, and it's fun to say it. The YMCA.
Yukon received 2022 LFS Coneheads, 8759, 8848 to 50, 5660.
Now we need to do the whole song. Nope. I'm not going to play it because then I'll get copyrighted. Young man, there's no need to feel down. I said, young man, pick yourself up the ground. I said, young man, there's around in the day to be unhappy. Dun, 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 dun. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. No, that's crazy.
Yukon received 2022 LFS Coneheads.
Let the video play, bro.
8848 to 50, 5660, 8862 to 63, 79, 8899 to 8900, 8902 to 04, 10 to 11, 8919, 32, 8936, and 8955. 20
What you're about to see is very disrespectful in my opinion.
units from Queens Village. In exchange, they gave 20 LFSs, 8294 to 99, 8301 to 08, 10 to 11, 8613, 8720, and 8722 and 25 to Queens Village. Staten Island committed an all-out robbery against the Queens depots. Incredible! This wildness was not merely confined to Staten Island's local fleet. Yukon and Charleston began a Prevost trade in mid-October, directly after the two aforementioned trades, with Yukon receiving Charleston's newer 2022 Prevost in exchange for 2015 to 16 Prevost to Charleston. That depot already got castrated. Why do you want to inflict more damage upon them? The first 2022 Prevost to arrive at Yukon were 1615, 19 to 20, and 1622 on October 21, 2024. 2022 Prevost 1614 to 1625, 12 units were shifted to Yukon Depot between October 21st and November 1st. Similar to the Conehead swap.
Okay, here's the this is the disrespectful part right here. How you gonna run a bus in Staten Island with the Queens Village sticker still on it? That's mad disrespectful. That's basically you're throwing grits in Queens Village's face at this point. You're like, we're gonna run your bus that we stole from you with your sticker still on it.
Head swaps. This may have taken place to balance out the fleet age. With that, Meredith has 50 blue and gold Prevosts, Charleston has 11, and Yukon has 12. In order to receive these newer Prevosts, Yukon gave 12 2015 to 16 Prevosts, 2504 to 06, and 2599 to 2607 to Charleston. Due to Meredith Depot closing at the end of 2024 because of its lease expiring, a few Staten Island bus routes will experience a depot assignment shift. Castleton will receive the SIM 3, SIM 30, and SIM 32 to 35 from Meredith. Charleston will receive the SIM 4X from Meredith, and Yukon will receive the SIM 15 and SIM 22 from Meredith and Castleton respectively. These changes will take effect on January 7, 2025. Credit to Windows for giving me that information. Meredith also gave out some Prevost loans to Castleton, 1573, 2422, 2439, and 2701. Various Prevosts were also loaned to Charleston, listed here, while 1570 and 1594 were loaned to Yukon. 2585, 2634, 2648, 2663, and 2665 were loaned to Meredith. These loans occurred in September and October. Regarding the ex-New Jersey Transit 2008 MCI D4500 CTs at the MTA, 2200 was sent from Spring Creek Storage to Zariga on October 11th, while 2199 X7105 was repainted to the MTA white and blue scheme on November 4th. At MTA Bus, JFK got LFS
I like that effect.
9100, 20, 22 to 23, 28, 9130, 9158, 9160 to 61, and 9181, increasing their total to 161 out of their 179 needed Coneheads. At this rate, they only need 18 more buses. This is very exciting. They retired next gens 4635, 3844, and 4654 to 55, reducing their total to 23 lithium next gens, listed here. Next gens are now an endangered species at JFK. LaGuardia received LFS Coneheads 9208-09 and 9213.
They got a few more.
Increasing their total.
Nope, that's not true. They got a few more units as well. Like I said, I still got to update it to be up to date.
Increasing their total to 34 Coneheads. Fun fact, 9196, mentioned in the last update I did, was LaGuardia's last 9190 series Conehead to arrive, doing so on October 15th. That was their last assigned 9100 series Conehead to arrive, until they decided to steal 9163 and 9180 from JFK's allotment for whatever reason. They retired next gens 4130, 76, 4386, 89, 99, 4407, 4511, and 4530, reducing their total to 63 lithium next gens. A couple of these units were previously retired, but were not mentioned fully in my last video. 4130 and 4176 were sent to Zariga, while 4399, 4407, and 4530 were used as parts buses. They loaned Prevost 1379 to College Point and 1546 to Yonkers. College Point got several next-gen loans from LaGuardia, including a Spectrum unit. The loans they received are listed here. They also received a few 2015 XD40s, 74, 54, 58, and 64 as loans from LaGuardia, as well as next-gens 4165, 4468, 4520, and 4522 as loans from Basie Park, while still holding on to 4166 from Basie Park. They got LFS Conehead 8976 as a loan on September 3rd. 4169 and 4276 were sent from Zuriga to Eastchester scrap, while 4185 was sent to Eastchester Depot for training there. 4123, an ex-LaGuardia unit, is serving as a parts bus at Eastchester as of October 16th. 2018 LFSA 5476 from Gun Hill, which was thought to be done for as of April 2023 due to a broken transmission, was moved from Eastchester scrap on November 7th, meaning that it might possibly get repaired and might even return to service.
Maybe.
On November 2nd, 2024, 2024 Prevost X345 1631 was delivered to Zuriga. This was our first Prevost built from Canada rather than Plattsburgh, New York, to arrive on MTA property. On November 4th, 2024, 2024 Prevost 1630 was seen in Canada, awaiting delivery to New York City. Both buses, 1630 to 31, are part of the 250 bus order for MTA Bus. This coach fleet will range from 1630 to 1879 and will likely be delivered to the 4 depots left with MCIs, those being College Point, Eastchester, Yonkers, and Spring Creek, between 2025 and 2026. As Eastchester and College Point have the oldest MCI D4500 CLs, they will likely receive priority in receiving these buses. Lastly, here is a list of rare runs which have recently occurred. 1214 on the BX19, and they didn't tell me. 4690 on the BX7. Summarizing events, we had a dynamic series of transfers and shifts on Staten Island, which, coupled with the R211S pilot set 100 to 104 now being in service, makes the island worth visiting. We also had an interesting series of loans from various depots, both at New York City Transit and at MTA Bus. The LFS Coneheads and XE40s continue to arrive.
So that's all that. Wait, there's a little more.
161 Coneheads are at JFK, while 34 are at LaGuardia. 241 out of 308 needed Coneheads are at MTA Bus, and 450 Coneheads are in the MTA in total, not only exclusive to Queens anymore, but also being found on Staten Island. 163 next-gens remain in service.
Okay, this is the part I haven't done yet.
Bus, 3 of which are Spectrums, and 62...
There's a Yukon 2019 LFS. It's hard to tell the 2019 LFS apart from the Conehead now on Staten Island. That's all the update that's finished so far. I just showed you the finished section. Oh, wait, this is the disrespectful part here, too. This is 8895 from Castleton. Still has a Jamaica sticker. Mad disrespectful. Running around Staten Island with the sticker of the depot you stole from. I could never. Could you imagine my depot doing that? Just running around town with a freaking like Quill sticker still on it or a Tuskegee sticker still on it? No way in the world. That's crazy. I feel like when I said Tuskegee, I kind of put my foot in that. Just like I'm going to put my foot in... Ooh, okay. Anyone excited? Heck yeah, I'm excited. Absolutely. Let's see. So that's Next Stop News right now. I'm thinking, do I want to talk about politics? I mean, it's relevant, but it might just derail the whole video. So I'm kind of thinking, all right, fine. When it comes to this, we're gonna do a vote. If you want me to talk about politics, and I'm not gonna be biased, I'm just gonna bring out facts.
then just type Y. If you don't want me to, we could type in and then end the video here on a good note. Nice. We got the double glasses effect going on now. Imagine grandpa glasses. Like one of them is hanging down like this, and then the other one is like this. Oh, this will confuse the heck out of the bullies that call us Four Eyes. They'll say they won't know what to call us when they see us like this. If they'll see us walking around, we'll be rocking both pairs of glasses. I might want to do this, like just appear in front of people, like, "Hey, what's up? Hey, what's going on?" I'll wait a couple more minutes because we could end the stream here on a good note. Meantime, I could see if I could find anything interesting that I want to look at. I like how. Oh, those were both. I thought those were Neoplans and then XDEs. What happened to the R211T? I've not seen any footage recently. I could look it up for you. I will look it up for you because I do have access to a server where the status of the R211s is updated. 4040 is in service right now with 4055, while 9 days ago the hard shell was doing simulated stops at Howard Beach, JFK, and in the Rockaways. So they're still in service. It's just hard to find them. And you're not going to see people posting videos of them all the time. Like, I might catch the 211T. I might not post the footage until 4 or 5 months later, if I do at all. 5100 to 5104 Nova Bus still in service yet? No. Still in Canada for now. R211T is still floating around. Yeah, the R211Ts are wanderers. There's a song from GTA. It's called Wanderer. I used to listen to the instrumental version a lot until they took it down. I was quite disappointed about that, but it is what it is. I heard some 68s will be retired by the 211s. Yes, I do believe that. That is a recent update that I did hear about briefly, but I still got to look more into it so I could report on it. You think some 160s will go to Coney or 211s? Personally, I think the 160s will go to Coney. That's my personal thought, but I'm a human being. I could be wrong. So, I don't know. Maybe. I hope so. So the 211s could go to Jamaica. All right. I'm going to stay on for like 5 more minutes to read some comments. And if we're all good, then we're going to end the video. Maybe I could go back to one of my slides. Or we can just enlarge the window like that. Yeah, I like that. They won't know what to think of me when they see me like this. They'll say, he's not 4 eyes. We gotta call him either 6 eyes or 8 eyes. JFK has 19 left. Okay, so they still have 19. So it's still tied with Manhattanville. But that will quickly drop under 19, and then Manhattanville will have more next gens than JFK, which is, like I said, not a sentence that I thought I would ever say. Oh, okay. Introducing New Jersey Transit's sexiest models. Ooh. Yeah, I like it. JFK and Manhattanville have the same amount of next gens. To me, that's crazy because I remember when JFK had all these next gens. That just shows you how much Manhattanville has been stuck with these darn next gens. It's been like a plague. But when they're gone, then it's going to be boring. So I would say still enjoy the next gens while they're there. LaGuardia is basically next-gen capital now. That I'm not too surprised by because LaGuardia they love some next-gens. They love them some next-gens. They do. I'm not surprised by the fact that they now have the most out of the MTA. But basically what you're seeing now is next-gens in remnants all over the system, like Fresh Pond with 10, Flatbush with 9. It's like all we have now is remnants. Not even full fleets. We just have remnants. The only one that really has a full fleet of next gen still, like I said, is LaGuardia. Manhattanville has too many LFS hybrids. Oh, Ray, you wouldn't have liked their original plan for Manhattanville. The original plan was to give them 226 hybrids. The whole depot was supposed to be LFS HEV. The entire depot. It was supposed to be a one-shot deal where Manhattanville got all 226 new buses in one shot between March 2021 and September 2021, with a little bleeding into October. So then the HEV shutdown of October happened, and the plan was changed to give Manhattanville XDE40s from Quill, and that's why we have them right now. That way Manhattanville has a more secure fleet. Which is funny because what you're really seeing is the MTA shifting to their original plan, like giving HEVs to Quill, giving Coneheads to Castleton. This was all part of the original plan. It's funny to see that. Do you like the Grand Central Shuttle? Yes, I do. It's a good route. I like it. It's enjoyable. I love the XE60s. I think I like the XE60s too. I would love to see XE60s in the future with the straight up blue and gold paint scheme. That will be hot. And if you might get me to crack a smile over that one. The Skittles train is one of the best shuttle lines in the world. And the best part is it's only 2 stops. Like, it's literally you get on, next and last stop, Grand Central, get on, next and last stop, Times Square, run for your train, get left behind like I do, end up missing the low V at Brooklyn Bridge, end up having to wait at Grand Central not knowing if the train is going to show up or not, end up getting a mid-ass video of it that you're afraid to upload to this day. Oh, I started ranting. Oops. I want to see a 4 express train from 149th Street to Burnside. Yeah, I mean, they occasionally do it. If there's an emergency, they will run it express. It's not often that they do it, but they do it sometimes. All buses without screens will become rare to find soon because of the newly installed Villanovas. What if I do like this? Oh, I can't see a thing with like this. This is horrible. How about this? No, I like that. It makes me look like a kind of expeditioner. Yeah, I like that look too. That way. Yep. No shit, Sherlock. Do you like Villanova screens or clever devices? I like Villanovas. Personal opinion. Okay. Okay. All right. I have decided that I will be talking about politics, but I'm going to do it in a way that is completely 100% factual. So we're going to put this over here and I'm going to talk about, and then after that, we're going to end the stream. As you guys know, there was, oh, oops, wrong window. Let's see. As you guys know, there was an election. Currently, as of November 14th, all 3 branches of the electorate that have currently been elected, that being the president, the U.S. House, and the U.S. Senate, have fallen under Republican control. In order to win the House, it's 538 seats. You need 218. The Republican Party has cleared the 218 threshold. In terms of the Senate has also been won by Republicans. The way the Senate works is 1/3 of the Senate gets replaced every 2 years. So there's around 100 members. Around 33 of them get replaced every 2 year period. And in this election, a few seats were flipped. So now, in the former 4 years, the Democrats had very narrow control of the Senate. At one point, the vice president, who is currently Kamala Harris, had to tie break in the Senate. And in the last 2 years, they had a slight majority, so they no longer required her to tie break. But now the Senate has gone to Republican control, and of course the presidency. What happened was in 2020, Joe Biden won against Donald Trump and picked Vice President Kamala Harris as his vice president. They were in power for 4 years. Joe Biden was running in this current election, and then he dropped out on July 21st to allow Kamala Harris to take over the campaign. She took over for around 100 and something days, and all the support went from Biden to Harris. So it was Harris versus Trump when it should have been Biden versus Trump. Trump currently won. He won 312 to 226. The way that works is each person votes in their state, and the popular vote does not affect the electoral map, which you're currently looking at. The way the electoral map is affected, you have to, each state secures their delegates depending on how many people voted for a specific candidate in that state. So it's like if, let's say I'm running against, let me see, trying to come up with a good example. Let's say I'm running against Man in the Hood. If I get like 100 votes and he gets 90 in a specific state, then the whole state goes to me. And then that process repeats itself 50 times until somebody passes the 270 threshold. So currently, with this time, that is Trump. He won all 7 of what they call swing states. Swing states means it could go either way, either blue or red. The swing states in this particular election were Nevada, where you see NV, Arizona, AZ, Wisconsin, WI, Michigan, MI, Georgia, GA, North Carolina, NC, and Pennsylvania, PA. Those are the swing states in this election, and he won all of them by a few thousand votes. That's the way that worked. He also won the popular vote. So, let me see. No, leave his comment. Why do you have 2 glasses? If you're a person who wears glasses, there's a possibility that one of them can break. It's very possible. And if one of them breaks, you can't see anything. Or if you lose one, you can't see anything. So it's always good to have a backup pair. And also it allows you to change your look if you want to. Let's settle down for the comments, please. Fresh link to the Discord. I can, we'll see. If you really want it, I'll give it. I'm a nice guy. So that was the election. It occurred on November 5th, 2024, last Tuesday. So currently, as it stands, Trump has won the election. He's 78 years old, so he is the oldest candidate to ever get the presidency. Biden was slightly younger. He was like still 78, but he wasn't the same type of 78. Maybe he was like 78 4 months. Maybe Trump was like 78 7 months. So Trump was a little older. So he is the oldest person to secure the White House victory. There were several cases against him. There were based off of previous actions he had done. The insurrection case where on January 6, 2021, where the Capitol was stormed. The classified documents case, the New York City hush money case, and the tampering with the election case in Georgia. It is likely that because he has secured the nomination. The rules are you cannot prosecute a sitting president, so it is likely that these cases will be dropped. What else we got? He is currently putting together his cabinet. He has chosen several people. Let me see. I could read from a list of people he's chosen. He chose Elon Musk and Ramaswamy for this department he calls governmental efficiency, which is called Doge. It's a wordplay. He chose. I'm gonna just read the list because I know I'm gonna mess some of them up. Let's see. I want to find a list. So, who we have so far, who he chose, excuse me, like I said, Elon Musk for, and Vivek Ramaswamy for governmental efficiency. He chose Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. He chose Fox News host for national defense. Kristi Noem, I think, as well, he chose. And I'm still looking for a list because off of the top of my head, it's I'm forgetting. These are stories. I'm getting stories. I want the actual list. He also chose this guy named Huckabee. He was a governor. Chose him for like foreign relations to Israel. And yeah, these are all news articles. It's not giving me a list of the actual and for a lot of them they have to be approved by the US Senate, which I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem because of the fact that it is now Republican controlled. Let me see. And to certify him, which is quite an interesting situation, Kamala Harris, the presidential nominee, has to certify Trump on January 6th. So it's a lot of people. It's a very small circle of people that are essentially in politics. Is who you know and how long you've been around, what kind of name you've made for yourself. Harris is 60. She just turned 60 recently. And her running mate Tim Walz was also 60. So it was ironic. It's like you have two people of the same age that were running together. Now, the reason I bring this up, the policy impacts could be shifted by a second Trump administration. There is a possibility that he might not leave office because he has said that he wants to terminate some elements of the Constitution, and he has used a very dictatorial language. But he is not really an electric vehicle fan, so it is possible that some of our electric bus orders could be affected by this. As you see, Hochul has resumed congestion pricing because of the current election results. Congestion pricing is going to go into effect, but instead of being $15, it's now going to be $9. But yeah, like electric vehicles could be hampered by this potential administration and not as incentivized because currently electric vehicles are very expensive. So the government sets up various programs to help people afford electric vehicles. That might not be present when the current shift happens. Why does the 2 train not have express service in the Bronx? Because they want the 5 train to do it. And it's better, well, think of it this way. There is no third route in the Bronx. If you had a system like the JM and Z, then you could have 2 services running on the express track while 1 service runs on the local track. The reason why the 2 does not run express is because you need some route to always remain as a local. With the JM and Z setup, with the JM and Z setup, the way that they're situated is that the J and Z run express, but you still have the M as a full-time local. With the 2 and the 5, you only have 2 routes instead of 3. So you need one route to be a full-time local. That way it frees up the other route to do the express. 3-track branches are quite interesting. Quite interesting. Yeah, I just want to see if there's anything else I could bring out from this. Because, like I said, I don't really like talking about politics on this channel. This is not a political channel. But I do want to keep people informed about what's going on. Okay, I have the list here. Marco Rubio, he's picked for head of state. This is Trump's cabinet now. Marco Rubio for Secretary of State. Pete Hegseth, he's a Fox News host, for Defense Secretary. And Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. Elon and Vivek for Government Efficiency. Huckabee for Defense, basically ambassador to Israel. And there are potential other picks coming down the line. They're suggesting that he might in the future pick Doug Burgum, Matt Rosendale, Jameson Greer, and he still has to appoint people for Interior, Agriculture, Health, Human Services, Transportation, Housing, Management and Budget, Economic Advisors, Science and Tech, and Small Businesses. That is pretty much it. All right. Let's see if we could look through some of the MTA articles. We got the R211S article here. That's nice. Is this article aged like milk? It did not age well because now they're not even in service. Like this article aged terribly. But hopefully in the future we'll get the 211S back because I know a lot of people love fanning the 211S. I didn't have as much fun with this event as I thought I would. At least I got a video of the low V. It wasn't as fun as I thought it would be though. This one I attended. It was fun. The R1 R9 event. I enjoyed it. I was able to get out to Rockaway Park. This was the first time I was able to make it to Rockaway Park before the train actually left. But I just narrowly made it. Like, if I had come one train later, I wouldn't have made it out there. This one I didn't go to. Anything else over here? Do we have any future nostalgia rides? That's a cool shot. Okay. Yeah, no new nostalgia rides. What you do have is the, oh yeah, I went to this one too, Bus Fest. We had an XE40 over there. They're not showing it, but they do show this, just XDE40 with an XN40 roof. RTS. I need to start investing in these. That would be nice. Problem is, I'm very cheap, so it's gonna be hard for me to do that. Vintage fleet. As of a few days ago, the R32s are now present on Transit Museum property. 3360 to 3361 are at the Transit Museum. I definitely like that. I definitely do. And then, of course, we have. I'll show you the Customia map, and then that'll be it. This is a mega project which I'm building in Trainz. Oh my goodness, that thing is huge. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's Customia. That's the map I'm building. This is my version of Manhattan. Over here we have the B, D, and Q. Here we have the 1, 2, and 3, even though I shifted the order. The Staten Island Railway goes into Manhattan. Instead of the N, Q, R, and W, we have the I, O, U, X, Y. Here we have the T, R, and W. This is the railroad. The 8 and 9. And the elevated network, which is equivalent to the 3rd Avenue L. Do you think the B9 should be Flatbush? Let's take a look. Let me see where Flatbush Depot is. Because I'm looking to see proximity. It should be Flatbush. It should definitely be Flatbush. I don't know why Gleason has it. Or, wait, does Gleason have it or Ulmer has it? Yeah, Gleason has it. I don't know why it's Gleason. It should be Flatbush. 5 to narrate. Have you ridden any Hawker XT Next Gens before they retired? I did ride a few. Mainly on the M5. But, I'm going to show you a little more Customia than we end the stream at 3. This is the 2nd Avenue subway on my version of 2nd Avenue subway. Here is my G train. Runs all through my version of Queens. Runs all through here. Or here, here, or here, here. It runs all the way to my version of Long Island. Then you have this cool railroad here, which it goes into the Bronx, runs down here. This is my Unionport station, very similar to East 180. Railroad keeps going, it runs diagonal, and then it goes to Jamaica. It runs into Jamaica, where the T and Z terminate. This is the 5 train here. It also runs from Queens into the Bronx. And then runs over there, runs over to my version of Woodlawn Mall. Initially, the 4 and 5 in my world were going to be called the 16 and 17, but I changed my mind. Let's see. We have the 1 train here. I did elect to make the turn. The train does turn over here to meet with the railroad at River Bay, or Riverdale, I should say. So this is the map I'm working on. I don't know how my computer is able to handle all this. It's a miracle, really. These are my Long Island branches. This is the Farmingdale branch, which I'm currently making. Those are the express stations, like East Village, Melville, Crystal Falls, things of that nature. This is Aqueduct Racetrack. No, I'm sorry, this is Trimeter Square. Then over here is Aqueduct Racetrack, where you have a diesel branch, which has a grade junction, and it goes up to either a college or to the river. Here's a 1-track branch. I did it just to make Zach Transit angry. I have various sidings so that many trains could run on the branch at one time. But 1-track branches are not efficient. Let's see. I'm on the B1 and I just saw the screens. Oh, enjoy your fanning. Hope you enjoy. Let's see here. Here is my version of the F train. It goes into Long Island on an elevated path. Yep. This is my World's Fair route. It's basically just a test track. This is my elevated network. This is my 11 train, 7 and 11. They both run, they either run together or the 11 is going to go up to Astoria while the 7 takes on Main Street. This is my 4th Avenue line. You have the D train as the express with the J, M, Z, Y, and R trains running local. The J, M, Z, and R run over here to Bay Ridge, while the Y train will run into South Island. And then go into my version of Staten Island, which, by the way, has a lot more train service than the real Staten Island. These 2 branches over here, this one and this one, are both for the Staten Island Railway. This is Staten Island Railway. This is an active railroad over here. And also this is an active railroad. It runs between Brooklyn and New Jersey through Staten Island. Here's something slapping at the Brooklyn Army Terminal. It's called Shoreside. So all the railroad trains terminate there on the edge of Brooklyn. Brooklyn is shit anyway. Oh, why you dissing Brooklyn like that? What did Brooklyn do to you? You gotta let Brooklyn live, bro. I was a Brooklynite for like 4 years. I don't understand your beef with Brooklyn. Or if you do have beef with Brooklyn, you can settle it in a nice, fun boxing match. I'm gonna shift my video back to 3 or 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock upload. Because of today's stream where I got to hang out with you guys. I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Appreciate it. I want to do this more often. This is a catenary railroad that I created. It switches from third rail to catenary right about here. This is where the switch happens. All of this has currently been built. I haven't built this. I haven't built this part yet. This part still needs to be built. Then it's gonna keep going. Good grief. This map is huge. Here's East Point. There's the East Point branch. All of this currently exists. There's Farsight. Wait, I think I just that station does exist. That's Farsight. This is wait, yeah, I have a list here. Here's the list of MTA D4500 CTs from New Jersey. And here is a list of the stops. East Point, Farsight, Bay Channel. Okay, so this is Bay Channel, Oceanfront, River Park, Aquita. I think this is Cobu, I'm not sure. And then you keep going until you get back into the city. This is the North River branch here. It's a one-track branch. It's very remote. This station is like Lakeview. This is around Lakeview. You keep going, and you get up here to North River. The terminal is full length, just in case you want to run a rush hour train there. So Trainz Railroad Simulator 2019 is, what a fun game it is. I love Trainz. Fantastic game. I think N3V were the developers. They did a phenomenal job. Absolutely phenomenal. And we're going to end off by showing you the West Change branch, which is my version of Grand Central Madison. 2 stops overlapping each other. It connects with Western Division railroads, like my version of New Jersey Transit. And it runs underground in Manhattan, Upper Manhattan. Keeps going, 130th, 105th, 8th Avenue, 94th Street, 70th, 58th, and then this is the mega haven for all railroad service, Customia Terminal. With that being said, thank you for tuning in to the second episode of TechnoTalks. Thank you for sticking around. I definitely appreciate it. Anytime I get to talk with cool people, I definitely enjoy it. And you guys are definitely cool people. So thank you for sticking around, listening to me rant about various topics in an informed manner. I hope you appreciated it. And I hope we can get to do more events like this in the future. In terms of hopes for the transit, I hope the 211S could come back in service soon, that more 211Ss could get delivered, and that we could finish up this Conehead order swiftly while still leaving a small next-gen remnant for us to enjoy. That being said, if you're not subscribed, I'm sure you are. If you're not, please press that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. You would stay up to date with all my current content. Thank you all for tuning in. Everyone stay healthy, stay safe. We're getting some cold days ahead of us. The temperature is definitely dropping down. It's very windy outside. You definitely got to bring a coat with you everywhere you go now. And the days are a lot darker, a lot faster. So, take care, everyone. Peace. Oh yeah, by the way, 42